The perfect eagle in the rugged mountains of Valoria, where the peaks pierced the sky and the valleys echoed with the calls of wild creatures, there was a legend of a majestic eagle known as Aleron. Aleron was no ordinary bird. He was said to be the perfect eagle, embodying the spirit of the mountains and the wisdom of the ages. His feathers gleamed like molten gold in the sunlight, and his eyes were as sharp and clear as the mountain air. The people of Valoria revered Aleron, believing that he watched over them from his lofty perch atop the highest peak. They told stories of his strength and courage, of how he had saved their ancestors from disasters and guided lost travelers to safety. Many had tried to catch a glimpse of the legendary eagle, but few had been successful. Those who had seen him spoke of an overwhelming sense of awe and inspiration. In a small village nestled at the foot of the mountains, there lived a young woman named Elara. Elara had grown up hearing the tales of Aleron, and she dreamed of one day seeing the magnificent bird with her own eyes. She was known for her adventurous spirit and her deep love for nature. Often, she would wander the forest trails and climb the rocky slopes, always hoping for a glimpse of the fabled eagle. One crisp morning, as the first light of dawn touched the mountain peaks, Elara set out on a journey. She was determined to climb to the summit of Mount Valoria, the highest peak in the range, where Aleron was said to reside. She packed her satchel with provisions, tied her long hair back, and began her ascent. The path was steep and treacherous, but Elara was undeterred. She climbed with a steady rhythm, her eyes scanning the sky for any sign of the eagle. As she ascended, the air grew thinner and colder, and the landscape became more rugged and desolate. Yet, there was a stark beauty in the barren cliffs and the distant, snow-capped peaks. After several days of climbing, Elara reached a narrow ledge overlooking a vast chasm. She paused to catch her breath and take in the breathtaking view. As she stood there, a shadow passed over her, and she looked up to see a magnificent eagle soaring gracefully above her. Her heart skipped a beat. It was Aleron. The eagle circled once, then descended to a rocky outcrop not far from where Elara stood. His golden feathers shimmered in the sunlight, and his piercing gaze seemed to penetrate her very soul. Elara approached slowly, her movements deliberate and respectful. She knew that she was in the presence of something extraordinary. "Aleron," she whispered, her voice filled with wonder. "I have come to seek your wisdom and to understand the secrets of these mountains." Aleron regarded her for a moment, then spread his wings and took flight. He soared across the chasm, gliding effortlessly on the wind, and landed on a distant peak. Elara understood that he wanted her to follow, and she resumed her climb, her determination renewed. The journey to the peak was arduous, but Elara pressed on, driven by a sense of purpose. She felt as though she were being tested, as if Aleron were challenging her to prove her worth. At last, she reached the summit, where the eagle awaited her. The view from the top was nothing short of spectacular. The entire valley lay spread out below, a patchwork of forests, rivers, and meadows. Elara felt a profound sense of connection to the land, as if she were a part of something greater than herself. Aleron perched on a rocky crag, his eyes fixed on Elara. In that moment, she felt a flood of understanding. The eagle was not just a guardian of the mountains, he was a symbol of the balance and harmony that existed in nature. His perfection lay not in his physical form, but in his embodiment of the natural world's beauty and strength. Elara spent the next few days on the summit, observing Aleron and learning from his example. She saw how he moved with grace and precision, how he navigated the currents of the wind with effortless skill. She realized that true perfection was not about being flawless, but about living in harmony with one's surroundings and embracing one's true nature. When it was time to descend, Elara felt a deep sense of gratitude. She had not only fulfilled her dream of seeing Aleron but had also gained a profound understanding of the world and her place in it. As she made her way back to the village, she carried with her the wisdom of the mountains and the inspiration of the perfect eagle. Back in Valoria, Elara shared her experiences with the villagers. She spoke of the importance of respecting and protecting the natural world, of finding balance and harmony in their lives. Her words resonated deeply, and the people of Valoria began to see their surroundings with new eyes. They worked together to preserve the beauty of the mountains and to live in harmony with nature. The legend of Aleron continued to inspire generations, a symbol of the perfect balance that could be achieved when one lived in tune with the natural world. And Elara, the young woman who had climbed to the highest peak and looked into the eyes of the perfect eagle, became a legend in her own right, a testament to the power of curiosity, courage, and the unending quest for wisdom.